Hey guys, welcome to another very interesting episode on Dog Spots FB Live. We have somebody from who's been in the pet space for a very long time, comes in with a lot of understanding, and has a brand or owns a brand called Mutt Of Course. We will talk about what is Mutt Of Course, what is the inspiration behind Mutt Of Course, how did it really start. So without further ado, let me introduce you guys to Sakshi Bawa. Sakshi, hi, and welcome to Dog Sports Facebook Live.
Hi, Anand. Thank you.
Hi. So Sakshi, tell us, right? I think the first thing when I heard about the brand, and I heard this about a few years back, what the name really is catchy. Mutt, of course. What is Mutt, of course? What's the inspiration behind Mutt, of course?
Uh, so, uh, it really goes back to the time when, so I've been in the industry for a really long time, as you said, that, like almost a decade. Um, and I was working with a platform, and then working after for a very long time, I left the platform, and then I took a little sabbatical, and I used to uh, help some smaller brands around, and every now and then I would bump into Rana from Dogspot, and we would talk about things. And there was one time when I reached a point in my life when we were sitting at Starbucks in Gurgaon. I still remember, and I was telling him that I have no idea what I want to do, and I don't know where am I heading. My life is at a standstill right now. Um, I don't know what do I want to do. So he said, well, you've always loved dogs, and you've been in the industry for very long, and you know a lot about it. So why not start something of your own? So till then the idea wasn't there at all. Like I wasn't even thinking about it. I was thinking about probably just be in the industry and help some other brand or connect with another brand who understands, who uh, would respect or probably need the kind of expertise I have. But when that idea was sown by Rana in my head, I went back home and I was like, wow, that makes sense. So I want to do a lot. So why not start it? Like, why not just start on your own? So that's actually the time when I started thinking about owning a brand or starting a brand, a sort of a community for pets. More so for dogs because I've always been obsessed with dogs all my life. I've grown up with dogs in my family. There was a time when um, my my parents were working and we were kids. That there was a small brief period where we couldn't have a dog uh, at home, but other than that, we always had dog or dogs at home. So I was like, okay, let me start. But the name Mutt, of course, came into picture because I am a very proud parent of two mutts who we rescued, and they're sort of they're the inspiration behind the thing. Yeah.
Great. So we'll come back to that, right? Because that's a very interesting topic. I definitely want to, like I was telling you, right? I want to know more about your dogs. I want to know what their names are. I saw one of them snoozing away. I believe he didn't give you space to sit on the couch. So we'll talk about that in
Yeah.
just a bit. But yeah, so I mean, it's great to hear, right? Rana is that kind of a person. Rana, if you're there, I think we need you to get more people like Sakshi into the pet industry. We definitely need such people. Okay. So on that note, why don't you tell us a little bit about your dogs? And I also understand that you have an extended family of dogs. So
Yeah,
so
yeah.
who are they?
So in house we have two. My first dog is Coco, who we rescued 5 years back, and the other one is Zoe, who's a recent rescue. We rescued her a year back. Um, Both of them are Indie mix, and we don't know their breed or the background honestly. Um, Coco we saved, as a puppy when he met with an accident actually, and some I don't know, some bike ran over his front leg and left him there like
Oh,
that in that situation. Didn't help him, and we got a call to rescue him. We went there, picked him up, took him to the vet,
I think we have lost Sakshi. Sakshi, can you? Okay, Sakshi, you're back. Sorry,
yeah.
Sakshi, we kind of lost you there for a bit.
Yeah. So yeah, I was telling you about Coco. So Coco was an accident case, and we sort of got a call to rescue him. We went there, picked him up, took him to the vet. There, we were told that we'll have to amputate because he's an Indian. They can't keep him for very long, and they were like, "That's an easiest way out. So let's just amputate his leg." And he was just, I think, 1.5 months old or 2 months, because we were not sure of the age specifically. So um, we at that time, me and my husband, we were sort of, we got really scared because they're like, if we amputate his leg, um, we'll have to leave him back on the road, because we both were working, and we not planned on taking this responsibility at that point. So we were like, is there any other way other than amputation, because we're not looking at that. So Wet said, of course, there's a longer way where you have to get him every day. There'll be drips, there'll be plaster, bandages will be done every day, they'll be open every day. So if you guys are ready for that, we can look at that sort of treatment. So we were like, okay, fine, let's do that. Let's give this guy a chance, because he's fighting for it. I mean, like, he's not given up yet, so why should we? So we agreed. We had no idea that it's going to, it'll be like 4 months every
oh,
day,
wow.
taking him to the vet and getting things done. So gradually he got okay, in the sense, like, he still limps. His leg is not absolutely okay. Like, if there's too much exertion when he runs or when he walks, then it swells up from that area. But he walks like any other normal dog around. So we got him home, and we would take him every day to vet. Uh, his leg was healing, and then we thought, we're going to put him up for adoption. So we did. We tried for a couple of weeks.
I know how
Got
that
a lot
goes.
of a lot of people said cute. We want to adopt, but we can't. Which I understand. Like, it's a very big responsibility. We were not ready for it, and that's the reason why we couldn't keep him, and we wanted to um,
Right.
give him to somebody who could give him a home and time. Uh, didn't work out, didn't succeed. So Coco never left, and we're like, okay, fine. Coco
Okay.
is now becoming part of our pack.
Oh, that's
So
nice.
that was Coco.
Oh, good stuff. And so I'm given to understand Coco was the inspiration behind starting Mutt, of course. All right. Do you want to
Uh, yeah,
talk about how that went about on finding the right kind of? I mean, you were saying the story about how
yeah,
you were not able to find the right kind of collars and harnesses for them, right? So, do you want to let our
yes,
viewers know how that started?
yeah.
It's always
So
nice to. Sorry, no, I said it's always nice that when a brand is built on like an inspiring story like this,
yeah,
I think there's a very high connection, right? As a founder, you have a connection. I think as people who are using those products, they always relate to that. So go ahead.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, like, I would find the right collar, and it's not like I wouldn't, but every time we would go out, and we would buy something for them. The first question that we would get is which breed. And every time I would say it's an indie mix. I don't know the breed. I have no idea about the breed. So my point was, like, there was a little hesitation every time, and it would leave them also a little confused in terms of what size are we talking about? Because if you talk,
Correct.
I'm going to give you an example. Like, if you talk about Labrador, you know what size, because it's a standard Labrador that we're talking about. If you're talking about a golden retriever, it's a standard size that we're talking about, right? Plus minus here. But when you talk about Indies, and that to mix, not a pure Indie also, what size are we talking about? We don't know. So, Mutt, of course, is basically an inspiration where, we wanted to build a community where before we say which breed, we say, can we see a picture of your dog? If we have seen a picture, we would know the size. So, that for everything that we make, we try and make as many sizes as possible, because your Indies also come in different sizes. I'll just give you an example. Like, my Coco is has got a big face, but he's a midget dog. Yeah, he's not even a medium sized Indie. He's like a midget. He's basically, we've been told he's a mix of an Indie and a German Shepherd. I don't know how true is that. We've never tried to find that out, but
that's a strange combination. Yeah.
Yeah, but we've been told that. So his size was always a tricky one to find.
Right.
My other one, Zoe, she's still a pup, and her size is also very difficult to find, because she's not like a usual pup. She's like a little sausage dog, yet Indie. So I have no idea what is. She seems to be a mix of a lot of dogs. I have no idea what is she a mix of. So, so that's what I meant. At Mutt, of course, we try and make a lot of sizes. And if we still don't have a size for a certain type of a dog or an animal or a breed, and a pet parent reaches out to us and wants something, then we make it for them. We try and just start it from the scratch and build something for them. So at Mutt, of course, we really wanted to cater to each and every pet parent, irrespective of the breed, the size, the color, or the background of the dog that he or she was coming from, or the not just dog, but we've started making it things for cats also. We've recently started a small line for cats. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, if there is a need, Mutt, of course, will make it for the customer.
Oh, nice. So just want to elaborate a little bit on that, right? So how does this work? The customizable collars, is it only collars? Is it for other ranges also?
Yeah.
And how does it work? Let's say I have an Indie, like you said, right? Indies can go from being really small to, I've seen some Indies that are really tall and well built and muscular, right?
Yes.
And they probably will not fit into like a very large, but neither are they like medium, right? Somewhere in between, perhaps.
Yeah.
So how do you go about getting the right size? I know you said photo, but what is the concept behind that? How do you do that?
So we, to answer your first question, whether we only personalize collars, we do a lot of personalization and customization, not just with collar. As I said, that we at Mutt, of course, try and make whatever pet parents need, whatever the demand is. So we try and make it, even if it is just for one piece. So we try and do that. So we do personalize and customize collars, leashes, beds, mats. So you name it, and we actually make it. Now, when it comes to sizing bit, we try and help the pet parents and help them in the sense, like, we tell them what sort of measurements we need to make a certain certain apparel, for that matter. Like, if I have to make a jacket for an Indie who doesn't fit in any of the sizes, the standard sizes that we already have, then we tell them to measure the length of the neck, the length from the neck till the starting of the tail and the chest area, because that's what we need to make sure that the jacket fits them well. So likewise, if it's a bed, then what we try, we ask them two questions, like, are they looking for the bed to fit in a certain area in the house? Because all of us, we have a certain space for our pets where they feel home. So that's our first question. If they say no, then we give them options that these are the sizes. If they're okay, we can make it in any of the sizes that we're talking about, or if they have a certain size in mind, they can always tell us, and we can, we work with the pet parent. So basically, this whole time we've been working very closely with pet parents in understanding the needs, the the kind of products that they want. A lot of times pet parents come to us with a certain demand in terms of, like, I have a I'm just giving you an example. I have a golden retriever, and I need an extra large jacket for my golden retriever. Now, if you see the sizes that we have at Mutt, of course, extra large size won't fit a golden retriever. It's a small size. So our sizes start from medium, so medium, large, extra large, and then so on. So um, that's the reason why I said that, we need a picture. We need to know what are we talking about? Which dog are we talking about? What is the size? Um, what age? So age also, matters a lot when it's about pets that we're talking about. So
Right.
yeah.
Right. So on the same topic, right? I also just wondering, right? So when it comes to collars, there are different types of collars that can suit certain breeds. Certain collars are not meant for certain breeds. We were also just quickly discussing about that, right? Do you want to probably throw a little bit more light on that, on what suits which breed or certain that should not be?
Yeah. So, I mean, collars serve two. They serve a lot of purposes, but one major purpose is that, the collar is something that you can just make your pet wear even when he's at home. But it should be made of made of a very safe and durable material. It can't be just any material which could actually end up resulting in a severe skin infection. So you have to be very careful about that. So one way is that one purpose is that you see a collar and say that, I'm going to get a name tag and put the name tag on the collar because my dog is going to wear the collar all the time when he's at home, when he's walking outside. But I'm going to make my dog walk on the harness. So collars serve that purpose. Some people walk their dogs on collars because they're more comfortable with the hold and the control that they have over the dog. The only thing that I would suggest pet parents who've got dogs with smaller snouts, and small necks, is to avoid walking the dogs on a collar because it could be really dangerous. It's always better to walk them on a harness where you have full control, and there is no risk of their eyes popping out
Right.
because of the pull, and which could result in choking. And there are other also numerous dangers that we're talking about. But if your dog walks really nicely on the collar and doesn't pull much, is very comfortable with with a small collar, thin collar, or thick collar around the neck, then be it, then let them walk. The only thing that we have walked really, so when you see Mutt Of Course collars, the buckles that we have used, they're not the flat buckles. Lot of collars, when you see the snap-on buckles, what happens is that they're flat. So what happens when they're on their neck, they're like this. So what we've done, because dogs' necks are like this. So
Right.
we've tried to get the buckles which are little, that they're sort of curved. So what happens when they're on the neck and the buckle is here on the on the neck, on the near the throat, then it fits like this instead of like this.
Got it.
So the pressure is sort of getting divide. It's not just at one point, but it's sort of not choking the dog. That's
Right.
the whole purpose. Like it should not be straight. It should be curved so that it's a little more firm on the neck, and it's really not hurting the neck when dog is pulling a little bit. But if you know that your dog is pulling and is a puller, go for a harness, because that gives you better control. There are, of course, there's a martingale collar, which is a beautiful tool, and we not making that in Mutt Of Course right now, but we do have plans. So let's see. But martingale collar is a beautiful tool. Like if you think that your dog is pulling a lot and you're not able to control your dog on a collar, and you only want to walk your dog on a collar, then go for a martingale collar without thinking about it.
Right.
There are of course other collars, but I would not want to get into the details of it. The only thing is that pet parents should choose whether to walk their dog on a collar or a harness based on their comfort level, and also based on whether their dog is pulling a lot or not, and if the dog, which breed is the dog. If it's a dog with a smaller snout, then avoid a collar, go for a harness.
Got it. Got it. So I think that's a very good point. I mean, it's a very subtle difference. I don't know how many people will actually see, the buckle being straight versus slightly bent, right? And I'm sure it makes a lot of. Are those your dogs that are?
Yeah, that's my dog.
Okay, okay, all right. So he finally woke up and he's like, okay.
They are
So yeah.
dogs. So
Okay, okay. So so I think that's a very good concept, right? So where the buckle is, instead of being straight, it is slightly
yeah,
curved, and so the
yeah,
pressure is not as much on the throat. I'm sure it will be there for a puller. It's going to
of
be there,
course.
but this relatively it's much lesser. But
Yeah,
it's a
yeah, and
very
also it fits. It's comfortable when a dog is wearing, yeah, as compared to the straight buckle. The
correct.
curved buckle is always more comfortable for the dog's neck. So
Right, right. Um, right. So on that note, right? So yeah, and this is something that I've heard a lot. In fact, one of my team members, she manages Apurva. She manages our social media platform. She's a big fan of your brand, and she's picked up a lot of stuff. So yeah, so who like your designs are really nice, really cutesy, right? I've gone through the design. They're really well made. So who is it? I mean, who does this? Where do the designs come from? Just walk us through a little bit about that.
yeah. So I have two full-time in-house designers who work with me, and in fact they work with the entire team. Then we also have we do collaborate with the other designers for different collections. Like for our pet lovers collection, we collaborated with a designer who's a freelancer, and we had some ideas, so we wanted to work on those ideas with them. But other than that, majorly all our work is done by two designers that we have, and they're two beautiful women. In fact, my entire team is. It's actually funny, but my entire team is it's of women. Not that we're against men or we don't want boys in our team. We were absolutely okay with that. But
Sorry, I just want to put it
coincidentally,
out there. Any guys looking to whenever any opportunity comes up, please do apply. It's not they're not saying that they're not hiring. Sorry, I had to just say that.
no, absolutely, we're hiring. Just that it's a coincidence that all my team members are either girls or women working with us. So what we do, we all of us, we it's a we have a very open culture in the office. We all sit together at the start of the week and we discuss all our ideas and the things that we want to work on, and then of course our designers are also there, but when we're discussing things, the final say comes from the designer, because they know things better. So when you talk about how the initiation of the designs come, or the planning and the strategy of it comes into the picture, it's the whole team. All of us, we sit together and come up with ideas. We do lots of brainstorming around it. We think through before we there have been so many cute ideas which we thought would work, but we couldn't make them because someone wasn't confident in our team, and we, of course, the majority we go with the majority in our team. So as I said, it's an open culture, so we talk and discuss about all the things. um, then the final design comes from my two designers who brilliant. They're the beautiful. They're as passionate and as compassionate towards animals, so they understand the industry as well. Um, all my team members, they're you know they're mix of skilled and unskilled labor. Um, like my back end, the manufacturing unit, we have a lot of people who are given training to make these products. Um, Again, so we have really supportive vendors uh, who really help us. They're the backbone uh, who keep us supplying with whatever raw material we need. And I'm so proud of the fact that we've got everything made in India. So all our products are from the conceptualization till the time they reach the customer, it's all made in India, the entire process. So we've been able to uh, help a lot of families there. So that's my team. My team is mix of skilled and unskilled labor, but all of them, they love animals from the bottom of their hearts. So
Oh,
I'm
nice.
very blessed like that.
Sure. That's great. So we have some questions coming up. So probably we'll just take a couple of questions here. We have Akshay who's saying, "Hey Sakshi, please tell us a little bit about Mutt Of Course treats." Okay, so this is new. So do you want to tell us about the treats that you guys are now making?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So as I said that we work with the people who love animals. So we have a baking partner by the name of Drooling Dogs, and it's run by a beautiful lady, um, and she has a pet of her own, and of course, pet inside, and then other animals outside who she's taking care of. So both of us, we sat down and we really wanted to come up with treats for dogs which are made from real ingredients and not the when you say real ingredients, we're not talking about the powdered form of ingredients. We're not talking about the powder that you get from the market and then you build something from it. So we right now we have three flavors. We've got cheese crackers, chicken and rice, peanut butter and chicken. So everything is real. So when I say chicken and rice, we use real chicken, and then we use real rice. When I talk about peanut butter and chicken, so we make our own peanut butter. So there is no chance of sweetness or saltness. We control the consistency there. And then we once they're made, because they're so whenever we get an order, we bake them fresh. There is never no, we don't have stock of biscuits kept with us. So if somebody places an order, we usually take 2 days buffer so that we can take 1 day and bake them and then just vacuum pack them. So as soon as they're out from the bakery, they're vacuum packed immediately. So the freshness is controlled there, and then we sell it to the customer. So the second it reaches the customer, when they open the packet, um, the smell, the aroma of the freshness of the treats and the biscuits it's something that I'm sure. I mean, they've been doing really well. The treats are doing really well, and people are loving it. There are multiple reorders that we've gotten. So I'm sure they understand that there's a difference in quality when we're talking about this freshness. They're
Absolutely.
they're as crispy as they when they're baked. So that's what Mutt Of Course treats are about.
Yeah, now I feel I need to order some stuff. So where can we buy where can we buy these treats? Where can we get Mutt Of Course products? Where are they sold?
So you can, of course, buy them on dogspot.in. We have our products listed there, and apart from this, we have our partners across India, so they're available online and offline with on a lot, a lot of in a lot of stores, and then on a lot of other platforms. So, um, I mean, I don't know with which you would probably want them to be ordered from Bangalore, right? So you could find our partners in Bangalore because the delivery time will be lesser there, and you will get it sooner and all that. So yeah,
Okay. So these are all your products, right? The products are available on DocSpot, and then you have multiple partners through which
yeah,
they are sold. And
yeah.
I know we were talking about this just a little earlier, and I wish you would explore a little bit on that. So why isn't that you do not have an online store and you're not selling it?
Uh, So for a very simple reason, because we really want to concentrate on the manufacturing bit. We want to come up with more products, and we want to keep changing and sort of um, making it better with each attempt that we do. So we want to do that. That's why we do not have an offline store or an online store. And there are already lots of amazing channels, uh, and the partners that we have, they're doing a wonderful job. I don't think there is a need of another specific website to come into the picture when products are available at these stores, online and offline. So I think we would concentrate on the manufacturing bit and support the partners as much as possible. And we would want to streamline that bit and make sure that the good products, are available with these partners.
Right. So it's so much more easier also, right? You focus on the manufacturing, you're focusing on the quality, you're not really breaking your head on the whole distribution, the supply chain and all that. Somebody else is let the experts take care of that. You focus on this. Actually, it's a win-win, and they win, you win, right? I mean, it could be as simple as that. So I think that's a great thought when pretty much every business is going online, and along with the other channels also. So this is, I think, really something that I found, that you did not really, or you're not selling the products on your own website. So I had to ask you that. Okay, so we have a question from Vizal. Vizal says, how do you see slip leashes for puller dogs? Any thoughts on that?
I think they're a very beautiful product. I don't know why we never thought of it. And we would want to give it a thought, and probably come up with something which could help more pet parents. So I think it's a good product. It's a good thing that we I mean, it's a very good thing that we can work on. Just that we will need a lot of steps to be able to come up with the right product. So you never know. Mutt, of course, may come up with something in future.
So Vizal, stay tuned.
Yes.
So I want to also ask you this, right? So I know we have been talking a little bit, but what would be the USP of Mutt, of course, right? We spoke about the raw materials, we spoke about your manufacturing people, but what is it that really? What is your favorite, right? On what product or what part of it is your heart truly connected to? I mean, it's the whole thing, but I'm still trying to find out what is that one thing that stands out from the whole rest.
It has to be the denim collection that we made, because that was the first thing. In fact, we started making denim collars way before Mutt, of course, came into the picture. Actually, Coco, my dog, got a severe skin infection, and every time we would take him to the vet, it would get okay, but then it would just come back. Then after a point, we sort of got really tired, and we wanted to come up with a solution for once and for all. So we sat down with his vet and we discussed it at length. And we got to know that it's happening because of the bad quality of the collar that he was wearing. Uh, and he was wearing the collar all the time. As I said, some people want the collar to be on with a name tag on it. So, and being a pet parent and being in the industry for this, for so many years, I never realized that it was happening because of the bad collar or the quality of the collar. So I started doing a lot of research. I started reading a lot about the kind of collars dogs should have, the kind of fabric which is okay for dogs. That is when we stumbled upon denim, and then we started reading about denim. We got to know that there's a thing called organic denim, and it's much safer. It, there, there's no use of chemicals while you're processing the look of the denim. So I wanted the best for my pet. So
Sure.
So I got hold of the person who was making organic denim, and I was like, I need the denim, so give it to me. And he asked me a lot of questions, like कौन सा jeans पहनाना है, कितना thick चाहिए, कितना stretchable चाहिए, and all that. And I'm like, what are we talking about? Like, I have no idea. Like, I didn't know whether we wanted like a stretchable collar or non-stretchable collar, or what's a different color. So I told him that give me like a swatch of everything that you have. Let me have a look at it, and then I'll get back to you, because I don't know what I want right now, and I don't want it for my jeans. I want it for my dog. I want to make a dog collar. So when I told him I want to make a dog collar, he was like, "Madam, I'm not sure if this jeans will work for you."
Oh, I think we have some bad connection here.
Yeah,
Sorry, Sakshi, we kind of lost you there. You were in the
yeah,
middle of saying
yeah.
how the shopkeeper was just caught off guards when you told him that you want to make
Yeah.
collars out of his denim material.
Yeah, yeah. So he said, "Madam, I don't know आप कैसे बनाएंगे, but ठीक है आप ले लीजिए. Like, if you want it, you take it. But I'm not giving you any guarantee, because I've never seen this getting done from the raw material that I have." So I said, "Doesn't matter. You give it to me." Uh, got the top, the denim, and we got different sorts of denim. So what we did, we made collar out of each denim. We got hold of the buckles, the adjusters, and the things that we needed. Um, so we sort of got the denim and we made the collar, but it wasn't durable enough. So what was happening with the denim, because it's a fabric, so eventually fabric gets loose, and the thickness wasn't there, and I wasn't sure if it's durable enough. So what we did, we read about the kind of things that we could use to make it more durable. So we came up with an idea of using cotton webbing instead of nylon webbing. So all our denim collars have cotton webbing inside it.
I
So
see.
there's a thick cotton webbing, and then there's a layer. There are actually 2-3 layers of denim around it. So the collar, there is no way the collar is getting anywhere. Like, I've got people who bought the collar, who were my first customers and bought the collars long back, 1.5 years back. They're still using the collar, and there's no complaint. There is no question about the quality of it. So that that is what I'm really proud of, and I'm really happy about, because we could give something to other pet parents that is absolutely safe, and I know will not cause any sort of skin infection or allergy that my unfortunately my dog had to go through. So yeah, that
Right.
that collection is very close to my heart.
Right. Oh, so again, yeah, it's so wonderful, right? Because not only is the collar useful, it is organic, it is safe, and this has come out of a need, right? Which is, when I say need, I mean that poor little Coco had to go through. It was Coco, right? Who
Yeah,
had to go
it's
through,
okay.
yeah, who had to go through all that before this product was launched in the market. So I think it really checks all the boxes. So no surprise that it's so close to your heart. So I hope we do see a lot more of these denim collars that people are looking at, because it's definitely a nice alternative.
Yeah. Yes.
So we have a question here from Mona Lisa. So she says, you have a fab brand name. I agree. And what do you do constantly to keep up with the competition and innovate in a space that seems to have new players every so often? I think that's a very valid question, right? So what are your
Uh,
thoughts on that, Sakshi?
so I sort of do not consider other brands who come up with beautiful products and really nice products as competition. In the sense, like, I think multiple brands coming up with amazing products for pets will only be able to provide the pet parents with more opportunities to choose from. So it's always good, as they say, it's always good to have healthy competition, if you're talking about competition there, in terms of, if it's for the betterment of the pets, which is the end result for all the brands, I'm sure, who are coming up with beautiful products and nice products. I think it for us, what we do is that we have a certain thing in mind and we keep working towards the betterment of the pet. All of us have the same goal. All the new brands, old brands, they have the same goal, that they want to give the pet parents something that will make their lives easier, and their pets comfortable, happy, and safe. So it's always better to have more people around. So I think it's good that there are more people coming up with new products and nicer products. Just that we all have to be consistent with that. It shouldn't be. I mean, like, it shouldn't be just like, two products and then that's it. We're done with it. All of us need to be in the, in the picture, and all of us should have products for the betterment of the dogs, or the, or other animals for that matter. So it's always good to have more competition around, for that matter. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would also agree. Being in the services, I think we get this also quite a bit, right? So there's competition, but if we are competing against each other, and then we are saying,
Yeah.
hey, let me compete on service levels. In our case, that's what it is, right? Who can deliver a better service, maybe lower price point, and keeping safety, comfort of the pet. End of the day, yeah, as businesses, obviously we will grow, but end of the day, I think the bigger winner would really be the pets, right? Because pets, I think the pet parents, right? The more there is competition and more each are competing on service levels. So here in the product space, if you're looking at the quality bit, obviously we will get better and better products, right? So I think it's good to have that healthy competition, and it's good that we have more people coming into the pet space with more innovative ideas, right? I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have thought about denim collars. If you had told me there's denim collars, I wouldn't have, probably like maybe 10-15 years, if someone said denim collars, I'd be like, no, you really have to be kidding me, right? I don't think. But today it's there, it's out in the market, right? And people are using it, and proof of
Yeah.
concept is right there, right? People have been using it for such a long time, and it
Yeah.
seems
Yeah.
to work in so many more ways than just one, right?
Yes.
So great. And we have Rana, the person who pushed you, pulled you into the pet space,
Yes.
or as an entrepreneur, rather, right? You've always been in the pet space for a long time. So Rana has a question. Can you tell us more about the campaign MOC is doing the rounds? Heroes of course. Oh, is it
Yeah.
something? Oh, okay. So let us know.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I don't know about that, but yeah, please do enlighten us.
uh, so thank you for that question. It's a beautiful question, and I really wanted somebody to actually come up with that sort of question for me. Um, so that one campaign is very, very close to our hearts. Um, this all started during the lockdown time, and we personally go out and feed some number of animals around our society. We do that, but there were a lot of people who reached out to us saying that they're helping animals and they need help to reach out to more people to be able to join the cause. They need more feeders, but because of the lockdown they're not able to communicate it or reach out to that group. So we wanted that message to reach out to as many people as possible when we were uh, so we said yes to these guys when they reached out to us, because one thing that we've done so far in Mutt Of Course, that we will never say no to anyone who's coming to us uh, in terms of asking for anything, any help or any thing for that matter. So we told them, okay, we will do it. And then we sat down and we thought that instead of just saying that, oh, this person needs your help because they're doing this, we thought, why not make them heroes, because that's what they are. They
Right.
they're heroes, of course, in their own capacity, because they've taken that initiative of their own. No one pushed them, no
Absolutely.
one told them that you have to do this, or this is needed to be done. They did it because they care. They did it because they want to. So we made them heroes on Mud, of course, heroes, of course. We told their story um, in a very in a way that we thought would reach out to more people and would be able to join, would be able to help them or join their cause in whatever capacity they would. So that's what happened. We started featuring these heroes on the platform on your social media pages, and we started telling people that, if you can help them, please do that. They need your help.
Oh,
This
nice.
is what they're doing currently. So if they're able to help 20 dogs right now, if you join hands, probably they can help 20 more. So
Right.
that becomes 40. And then if there's one more person who can, more, more the merrier. So that was the whole idea. And it started with one person by the name of Anupam, because he was one person who was reaching out to us every day saying, please help me, please make me reach out to as many people as possible, because I really want this to work for the dogs. And there are lots of dogs that we need to feed, and I miss out on feeding X number of dogs every day. So that was a push, and then we were like, let's start with Anupam. Let's tell the story of Anupam. Let people know what Anupam is doing single-handedly. And now Anupam, Anupam started with 20 dogs, I think, every day. He's got an army of people helping him, and now he's feeding about, uh, I think, 200, 300 dogs every day. So,
Wow.
there are people around who are helping out feeding the dogs every day. So,
That's a huge number. Wow.
yeah, yeah. So that's why I
Wow.
said that it's very, very close to my heart, uh,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we really wanted to celebrate that.
Yeah, yeah. No, I think it's a need of the hour, right? I think a lot of small people have come together in this lockdown. They are trying to do their best, and we have seen small spurts of it in and around where we are. And I've also heard about a lot of things. But yeah, it does need to be celebrated. These things need to be told, and told loud, and told on multiple platforms, such that it really becomes like a big deal, right? More people join into it. I think more dogs get fed. I think even lot of animals actually that were not getting fed.
Absolutely.
But thankfully, I think the lockdown here in some states have been relaxed, but I believe in Delhi it's still not. So how have you seen this industry? I think that just brings me to the question that keeps seems to be running in everybody's mind, right? Everybody, I mean, just about everybody, but pet industry, I think that's another big thing. So how did the industry, in your opinion, how has the industry, what is the situation during this COVID situation, and how have you seen it change?
Uh, so lockdown sort of it did good to a lot of pet parents, because earlier, before the lockdown, all of us were sort of busy and would always complain that we're not getting enough time with our pets, we're not doing justice because we're working, we're out. So sometimes walk will have to be, I mean, either walks would get cut down, or the quality time that you would want to spend with your pets would get hampered because of certain other priority. But lockdown proved to be a blessing. There was enough time to spend with your pets,
Right.
um, enough to understand them, enough to make that bond stronger, um,
Right.
enough to, you know, s- just wake up next to them and sleep with them, and then give them undivided attention when they need it. And of course, that sort of makes the pet parent understand what is that I can do to spoil my pet a little more. So that's where we come in the picture. We sort of enable them to spoil their pets in a way. We provide them with the kind of products that they would probably, when you're buying in a haste, you would just buy because you need it.
Right.
You don't have enough time to think about it. Like when you want to spoil your pet, you really want to indulge in getting the best and the the, the most pretty looking things and the best ones which are available for them. So that's what happened with us. During the lockdown, I saw a sudden spike in the number of orders that were coming in from different partners that we have, and all of them had at the same thing to tell us that people want to spend more on the pets right now. People really want to pamper them. People really want to spoil them at this point. And I was so for us it was a blessing in disguise, I would say, and it made the bond stronger. Now pet parents know their pets a lot more and better than they used to on before the lockdown. So that sort of happened with.
Right. So do you think that this could be something that I was reading about, saying that now how everybody is jumping into cooking, and not just cooking, they're cooking gourmet meals and they're trying to come up with fancy things because they have time, and now they are able to understand what each other wants, what the partner wants, maybe what the kids want. They're really putting in that effort. Somehow these dogs and cats have come somehow squeezed into that bit also, right? It's not enough that they're squeezed into our lives, they've squeezed into that time as well. So does that seem to be that people are saying, okay, now we will spend that time, and we will get into the details of, like you were saying, right, we'll get into the details of saying what really works and what my pet could perhaps really enjoy, and things like that, and hence there has been a spike over there.
I think that I that I think that could be a major reason. Yes,
Right.
and it's in the end it's only going to help both the pet and the pet parent to strengthen then that bond that they share, as well as the entire family, and everybody is going to win the crisis that we have unfortunately in front of us together. So yes,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Um, so what do you see as going forward? What do you see? Because you're in the manufacturing space, and there has been some disruptions. There has been things that have not gone on. Okay. So how do you see things going from here forward for Mutt Of Course specifically, but as an industry also, as a pet industry? Do you have any thoughts on how people are going to be reacting to these situations? What is the new? Everybody keeps talking of new normal, right? What is this new normal? Any thoughts on that?
uh actually I think I personally believe that there'll be uh, a, a spike in a lot of online orders. The people are so because there's safety that they want to go for. At the same time, for offline orders that we're talking about, the relationship will be built on trust. So if a customer trusts a brand and a store to have that sort of hygiene standards and the safety standards, where they feel safe, they feel safe for the pet, they would make the point. They would, you know, they would go and pick up things from there. So that's where we see Mutt Of Course helping and providing the best and the safe products for the for to both to online and offline. So again, it's here the only thing that will stay is how you make that connection with the pet parent when you're giving them a product. So, yeah. So instead of saying that I would just sell a collar, now you will have to make a bond. You'll have to understand why do you want to sell that collar to your to that pet parent. And at the same
True.
time, pet parents, they've spent a lot of time uh, in educating themselves and understanding, thanks to the the other live videos and the other information that is doing rounds. Pet parents have spent a lot of time to understand what is good and what is not good for the pet. So now they're also going to take a very well educated decision.
True.
So that's how the world looks like post COVID-19 for the pet parents and for the pet industry. That those who are able to uh, make everything in India. For us, it's been a very lucky situation, because, as I said, that all our vendors have been very very supportive from the time that lockdown was there were certain relaxations. All our vendors started supporting us. We also started making products using all sorts of safety measures that were supposed to be used. And till the time you're able to make things here in India, there is a tremendous growth. Like, how they're saying that you have to be vocal for local. So it's exactly that time. You have to be vocal for the local. Um, Support the small businesses, support the businesses who can build everything here, and let it grow. So I see a lot of growth here in the pet industry, because now people are ready to spend. People are ready to, that they're ready to take that call, that decision that they were not able to while when they were sort of busy doing the daily work, or running around and everything, which fortunately had to be stopped. And it gave everyone a lot of good time to spend with family, pets, parents, friends,
Absolutely.
like all the talks and everything. So I think it's going to be good. And everybody is going to be a winner. So all of us are going to be a winner together.
Oh, that's great. So there's so much going on, right? So to hear this, that okay, things will be okay, but obviously, I think there is a lot of research that says that pet industry is almost like recession proof, right? Has gone through a lot of ups and downs, but has always come out stronger, which just
Yeah.
makes me have the belief that pet parents definitely do treat pets as family, right? So no matter what comes, maybe they will probably do something lesser. Maybe they will stop eating outside or something, but they will ensure that their dogs get the right amount of food, nutrition,
Yeah.
the right kind of sleeping material, all those things. I think I don't see people sort of compromising on that. But I
Yeah.
do have a very nice comment here, which I want to put here. So this is going back to your your product. So Mona Lisa says, while your girl dog bows are cute, can you also please just make a good girl or a bad girl instead of just the boys? if not, if not for your all female team.
So we have two really beautiful designs coming up just for girls. No boys this time. uh, Actually, good boy bad boy started because we had Coco in the picture, and we were just looking at him as the guinea pig for us to be able to have all the designs. But now, because I have an indie who's a girl, so we're coming up with really cute two designs. We're just waiting for all our vendors to be fully operational. So Mona Lisa, you have something to look forward to. It's my promise. We have really cute designs in bandanas coming up just for female dogs. So yeah.
Great. So Mona Lisa, I think that's good to hear, right? So you will get a good girl. I don't know if you will get a bad girl, but yeah, good girl is definitely on. uh, um, so um, one of the last questions. So I just want to. So what are the future plans for Mutt? Of course, where do you guys see yourself? Are you diversifying into something new? I also keep hearing this new word, which most companies are taking. They're going to pivot into something completely different. So, are you also guys doing something like that, or what's the future?
Uh, at this point, future is very uncertain, I would say. But at the same time, no matter what we do, we'll be doing it for pets. We'll. I don't know what what future holds. Um, if 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 there's a need where we have to come up with a product to help a little more, uh, and give something to the pet parents to make their lives easier, we would get into that and do that, make that for them. But at this point, apart from coming up with a lot of new products and new collections, we don't see ourselves leaving this space and doing or digressing towards something else. We'll be here, and we'll be coming up with lots of fun products which are in the pipeline, which we would have released earlier, but unfortunately because of the lockdown we couldn't. But pet parents should keep an eye. We have lots of things coming up in future.
Okay, great. Sakshi, thank you so much for talking to us here on the Dog Sports Facebook Live. I definitely learned a lot about the products that you make and about your USP and how so connected you are to your pets. And I think that really is what is going to drive pet businesses, right? I strongly believe in that. So here's wishing you a great future for Mutt, of course, and everything going great. So thank you so much for joining us. Take care, stay safe.
Thank you. You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.